Hello, I'm Commissioner William Bill Edwards. Welcome to the South Fulton Good Things Show. Today we are delighted to have as our guest from Stonewall Tell Elementary School, Mr. Shannon Flounnory, Principal, Ms. Jennifer Thompson, PTA President, and Mr. Stephen Hill, Artist. Thank you all for being on the show.
Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you.
I know it's your second time, Mr. Principal, being here, and we've always had a heartfelt appreciation for Stonewall Tell. We're glad that you're back here again with some more good things. But before we get any further, tell us about some of the accomplishments that's going on at Stonewall Tell now.
Well, we've had quite a few, to be totally honest. Most recently, our PE department was acknowledged as the best elementary school PE department in the state of Georgia. Our PE specialists had an opportunity to go down to the coastal area, Savannah, to be recognized. And interestingly enough, Stonewall Tell, as well as a few other schools in Fulton County School, has been recognized for the Healthy School Initiatives. In addition to that, a few years ago, we were recognized by the Georgia Department of Education as having the greatest increase in student achievement in the area of mathematics. For the past 13 years, we have been recognized by the Georgia Department of Education as a distinguished Title I school. So quite a few accomplishments over the years.
I can tell it because, you know, a lot of people now are moving into the area. I can always tell about a school, about the people who move around it. And Stonewall Tell is getting to have a great community. There was a subdivision there that was not filled at one point in time, right next to the school, and it's complete. So you're doing a great job. And I know you get this question all the time, but I'm asking it anyway.
Sure.
What is of all the things that you've accomplished, what is the most memorable to you?
Well, there have been quite a few that have been memorable, but the ones that stand out the most, really, I think was like 2003. When the first time in our school's history, our student achievement scores reflected that we were at above the national average in our norm reference assessments for other schools in the country who had taken that same assessment. The other one that stands out prior to this particular point is a 2007-2008 school year in which we had 40 teachers who received funding to pursue national board certification. That was a major accomplishment.
Great job, and you've done so many things to this point. Let's go forward. What is the mission and vision?
Well, right now, I can sit here and tell you what our vision and mission statement are, but the truth of the matter is, one of the things that I take pride in is to ensuring that we're not just a school that is competitive in Fulton County or South Fulton County. My vision personally is to lead our school to the point that we are globally competitive, especially in the fields of science and technology.
Mm-hmm. What have you contributed, to the success that you have at Stonewall Tell?
Well, interesting enough, Commissioner, I receive a lot of accolades for the success of our school, but the reality is I do not teach one child there. It's very important as a leader that I am very, very aggressive in hiring the right people who are very, very pedagogically diverse, but people who have a passion for learning and a passion for children.
You've done an outstanding job, and you and your faculty, and staff. I want to make sure I mention that, because you haven't taught anybody. I've never seen you teaching nobody. But let's talk, we talked about the latest accomplishment. The biggest thing now has been the wall at Stonewall Tell.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the wall at Stonewall Tell really started out as a vision. I was having conversations with students, and even though I don't teach, I'm in classrooms quite frequently. And as students entered into the media center, they were discussing some individuals that they were doing research on. And as I questioned kids, one of the things that I realized is that they really do not have a clear understanding of the history of America. In other words, true students may know who Kobe Bryant is or LeBron James, but who is Ben Carson, or better yet, who is Bill Russell? Who are some of the other athletes and people who have made strides in the areas, not just athletics, but entertainment, scholarship, politics. In other words, we have our first African-American president, but how did he get to be president? Did this just happen overnight? No, it did not. So this was an effort to really get students to understand that there was history behind what has evolved in our society today. So I wanted to start this out as a very small project to get a couple of images on the wall, and I had an opportunity to meet a young man who was probably one of the most talented artists that I'd ever seen. In addition to that, after speaking with him and looking at some of his work, I realized that not only did he have a passion for his craft as an artist, but he's very passionate towards kids, a brilliant young man who came with a very, very historical perspective. And as I watched his interaction with not only myself, with students, and I said, hey, maybe we can expand this a little bit. So we started with one piece, then it led to another, and 20 months later, it led into the wall at Stonewall Till.
Like any other thing, I know there were some steps to get to where you are. What was involved in bringing this to fruition?
Just kind of having some discussions, first of all, with my faculty and staff, just to make them aware of what the vision was and what I wanted to do. The next step, I wanted to take it to our parent leadership. You spoke of our parental leadership and how involved our community is in supporting that. So I want to have some conversation with our local school advisory council and our PTA. Really, it was my idea that after we completed the project, we would just open it up and say, here it is, come and look at it. But under the leadership of our PTA and school council, under the direction of that level of leadership, they decided, no, this is too magnificent of a project. We're not just going to roll it out. We're going to do it the only way we know how. That's with the highest degree of class and elegance, in that we plan the official unveiling of the wall at Stonewall Till.
Well, this wall tells a very unique story. I've seen it, and it does that. But you know, there's so many people in history that you could have chose. What has been the criteria for who went up on the wall?
Yes. Well, every individual that is on the wall was specifically chosen based upon the value that they have provided in politics, as I said, sports, athletics, entertainment, because we want our students to really, really have a global view of the world. For example, someone asked me the other day, why did I choose to put an image of the Beatles? Well, the Beatles represent America back in the time, let's say the 1960s. That our students would not understand now, but the truth of the matter is their parents, or perhaps their parents' parents, the Beatles may have been as popular as Usher is today, or Michael Jackson has been today. So again, we wanted to give these students exposures to the iconic figures that they may know, but we also wanted to give them exposure to the iconic figures that they may not have any fundamental knowledge of, because when we learn and we expand upon the things that we know, but it's very important that we research the things that we don't know, is how we continue to expand our minds.
Jennifer, I see a lot of PTA people, but I don't see nobody that matches you. I mean, you're just instilled in that school over there. Tell me about the PTA. What was their response to what the principal was bringing toward you?
The PTA, I have to tell you, when it first came to me from Mr. Flounnory, we were overwhelmed. We wanted to help him bring this vision to life. Some of the things that we've, as he said, instilled in our children is it's not about Black history, it's about American history. And a lot of the kids, as we've lost several artists in the last few years, they're asking questions about the Whitney Houstons and the Michael Jacksons. So we just took it a step further, as he indicated, with the Beatles. So from our perspective, whatever we can do to help bring the vision to life and to help our kids in the community, not just Stonewall Till, but the community as a whole, to understand, you know, history, we were definitely on board, and we were very excited to be a part of it.
Beyond just saying, I agree, what was the PTA's involvement? Did you win this election? Did you make some suggestions to him that?
Yes, we made a lot of suggestions to him. As he indicated, it wasn't just a project to say we had an artist come in and just paint a wall. Let's unveil it. Let's let the community know this is a class event. This is going to be a classy unveiling. So we took the initiative, along with the LSAC community, to make this a once-in-a-lifetime event, not only for the school, but for Mr. Hill himself, because at the end of the day, he's done a magnificent job, and he's done a magnificent thing for the community.
I think I can ask both of you this question. What was the response from the students?
Wow.
Interestingly enough, many of the students had the opportunity to see this work as it was being created. Unlike the parent community, the student body, actually, as Mr. Hill was constructing this, had the opportunity to come in, and they had really a lot of anticipation. Wow, who's he going to put up next? Who's that? I think I know who that is. And they would take the initiative to go and research to see why this person might be a part of the wall. So they had the opportunity to see this project being built from the floor over the past 20 months.
And to add to that, you know, it became, there go Mr. Hill, putting somebody else up there. Hey, Mr. Hill. So, yeah, the kids were very involved, very excited, as Mr. Flounnory said, to see who was going to be the next figure on the wall.
Well, we're great to hear all of this. That we're going to come back and we'll talk to the artist himself. But we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Stonewall Till has embarked on becoming a STEM resource school for its students. STEM meaning science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Students are engaged in inquiry-based tasks that involve robotics, the solar system, communicable diseases, and Apple products with an emphasis on iTunes University. Welcome back to the South Fulton's Good Things Show. For those of you who have just tuned in, we are speaking with Mr. Shannon Flounnory, principal of Stonewall Till Elementary, Mrs. Jennifer Thompson, PTA president, and Mr. Stephen Hill. Thank you all for staying again for this segment. We have been enlightened today about the vision and developing what happened. I guess now, Mr. Hill, it's your time. You're the artist. Bumcaso. Did I get it right?
Yeah, Bumcaso, that's right.
Bumcaso. Tell us how you got involved with the project.
Well, I was given a call by one of the administrators over at the school that seen some of my work. And she told me that Ms. Flounnory was looking for an artist to create a certain vision in the media center. And the media center is the libraries, as you know, they call them in school. And so I got excited, came on over there, set up an appointment, came over the same day, and we stood in the media center, and they was talking about the walls. I heard everything they said, but I was looking at this little round piece up there on the ceiling, and I was trying to figure out what can I do with that. You know, the walls were already, I knew what I was going to put on there, because he pretty much laid out what he wanted. He wanted something that was diversional, that showed multi-races and nationalities, but he also wanted to show our strong history and heritage, which we all came from, African Americans.
You did a good job. Tell us about some of the projects you did before you took on this project.
Where do I start? I've took on other schools where we did projects were not quite as big as this. I've done a few wall murals outside, earwax, a couple places up in my hometown, Gary, Indiana, Indiana University when I was down there at school. Just a lot of murals and artwork of all different kinds.
You know, you're a great artist. I've seen the work, and it's just been phenomenal. Of all that you do, what's the greatest passion you thought when you walked through that school? What was your greatest passion for doing what you're doing?
I wanted that. I wanted that school. I don't know what it was, but I felt it. And from the minute me and my wife walked into the school, it's like I claimed it. I owned it. I wanted to do this project for them more than anything in the world. Had never met any of them other than the one person that had connected us to this project, but I just wanted to do that project.
And how is the community, in your regards, how has the community had embraced you with this?
They've really embraced me. I've gotten much love, much respect, much honor. I mean, I just can't think of the right words that can sit there and say as much as I want to say about the community and the PTA and LSAC and the administration over at Stonewall Till, Mr. Shannon Flounnory. He's been wonderful, you know, and all the people that's been there to help me.
What do you think, in doing what you did and trying to follow Mr. Flounnory and others' vision, what do you think you would like the children to learn most from this mural?
I would like them to know that being African American in America, and our history has been so hidden from us in so many different ways. I like to know, all our young people, that we come from a great background of great things, great civilizations we've built, that they have all this greatness in them that they can achieve. But the most important thing is they have to go to school to get those instructions and those directions to know how to approach it and how to receive it.
You have any projects you're doing now that you want to share with us?
I got a few things I'm working on, but I'd rather just wait till I make my connections with these.
Well, I got a few things I want you to work on too. around Fulton County. You all have gotten a lot of people praising the school and what you've done in Shannon. You just take it another notch every year. I don't know how you keep doing it.
Absolutely.
But you keep taking it another notch every year. What's next on the agenda? You going to paint the school? Or do we paint the school, or what do we do? I mean, from you got certified teachers. We did that story and other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have to look at this. I equate my practice to, let's just use the Isley Brothers for an example. The Isley Brothers have been making music for an awful long time, over 50 years. And the reason that they've been so successful is that they have made a very focused effort on redefining themselves. So as the music changes, they change their style. So we don't rest on our laurels and look at the successes of the past. As each year passes, at Stonewall Till Elementary School, we take an opportunity to become very, very reflective practitioners, to think about the successes and those things that we did well, and to go back and to make adjustments and perhaps things that did not go so well. So every year, we look at, okay, regardless of how well we did this year, what are the academic things? Because at the end of the day, all of this artwork is designed to support the academic agenda. And so in terms of the future of Stonewall Till Elementary School, we've done well over the years, but we want to continue to make ongoing improvements so that our students, as I said earlier, can be in a situation where they are globally competitive in terms of student achievement and in terms of options that are available. I want the kids who leave Stonewall Till Elementary School, once they go into middle school and high school, to have a clear-cut vision or a clear focus in terms of where they want to go, whether it's to be work-ready or whether it's to be on a college track or whether it's to graduate in less time than the 4 years that is allotted. So the whole purpose is to make sure they're in situations where they're given options early, with academics being at the top of the spectrum.
Good. Jennifer, what about the PTA? What are they looking forward in the future of doing?
Well, one of the things that we have embarked on is, as Mr. Flounnory said, bringing the school with ever-changing with technology. He is working, and the school administration is working on bringing our school to 21st century a computer lab. So one of the things the PTA has been doing is working with the community, with raising funds, box tops, whatever we can to help finance some of the things that we want in that computer lab, which that can go from new computer tables, that can go from, we've been looking at iPods, working with Apple. We're just trying to bring our students in our South Fulton community up to 21st century so they will not be anywhere behind as far as technology is
Good.
going.
And Mr. Hill, in talking to you and seeing the work, I think it was much more than money for you. I think it was, you can express it better than I can, but I think it was, in your heart, it was a little bit more than just money. Am I correct?
You're very much correct. Money should never be what people seek when God has given them such wonderful gifts. It should be your talent that you focus on. The money situation, that stuff comes, it goes. But one thing you can never, ever lose is your creativity. That's what I'm afraid of. It's not being able to put something out there that people won't like. So I stay passionate. I stay on fire when it comes to stuff like that. And I use negative situations to just become positive when I put something on canvas or if I'm painting a wall. So when people make me angry and I get real quiet, you better watch out.
I probably need you to paint my office. But I tell you this. I know that, and you said this at the program. There are a lot of schools who want to do the same thing. I don't know if anyone have called you yet, Bumcaso, about it. But there are people who admired your work, and they're going to be calling you.
We've already gotten a few calls.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm always ready.
Well, I tell you, it was a great work. One of the favorite pictures on there is in the corner. The little guy in the corner. He's a good-looking fellow.
Oh, you're talking about Commissioner William Edwards.
Oh, that's a good-looking picture.
Yeah.
I think I may have to take that one and do it on my wall at home. But that was great. I was so excited. It was a great program that day, and and everybody. Not only did we just get a chance to see the wall, but we had a tour. We had people talking about the things that were going on in the wall. It's so much excitement to the point that people had to be told, "Hush, you got to calm down. We're going to get it done." how do people come in to see the wall? They're not members of the school. They live in the community. How do they get to come in and officially see the wall?
Well, idealistically, because of we have certain protocols during the school day. School normally is going to let out about 3:30 or so. They can come in, sign in at the front office, and look at it. What we're in the process of doing right now is creating student-led podcasts. And let's say Commissioner Edwards wants to come and get a historical tour of the wall at Stonewall Tell. The students will actually go through and talk about the history around the images, because the wall is actually designed in different sections where we move from the civil rights movement to politics to science and technology to conventional iconic television to entertainment to sports to philanthropy. So students are actually going to do the historical walk in the future. So you can come in, put that podcast in, and get the tour.
Tell us about the beautiful young lady that's painted on the back wall.
The beautiful young lady on the back wall, that is actually one of my favorite images. That's Kayla Lemons. If you recall, a few years ago, we lost one of our students on Easter weekend. About 4 years ago, a horrific accident on Camp Creek Parkway. I did reach out to her family to advise them that I wanted to have a section in the media center with her image. We started a few years ago the Kayla Lemons collection, in which we have several books of her liking that the students can always remember her. So adding her image in that section was the icing on the cake. And so the family was very thankful, and our Stonewall Tell community will forever remember our student.
And I'm sure even the younger kids are still today going back, looking at the wall and asking questions. In the library. I'm sure there are people around all the time to answer those questions, am I?
Oh, absolutely.
Am I correct? Because
Yes, sir.
it just sparks you to inquire about, what's going on.
Right.
And then to have the script that you did over the paintings on that wall, and your message, your philosophical message as you leave the premises, that one asked you, what does that mean? It was really, really great, and to have those things. So everybody did a wonderful job. So it's been great. It's got to be added to my list of things as we do South Fulton tours, because one thing I always say, Stonewall Tell is a jewel in South Fulton County. If anybody's ever seen Commissioner Edwards and they ask me about schools, usually the first thing comes out of my mouth is Stonewall Tell, because you've done so much, and and the record shows. Your record speaks for itself, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And to have you in my district, and to see the kind of development and the growth that's going around that school in terms of the community. You have a solid community.
Yes, they've been very supportive over the years. I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Yeah, you've been great with the PTA, and they've been very, very good.
Absolutely.
But Caso, we expect a lot more out of you. In Fulton County. I got you now. I got you. So you're going to be known as the Bum Caso of South Fulton in the near future. Well, listen, I want to thank all of you all for being here today. It's been great. I will continue to lift up Stonewall Tell Elementary School like other schools. And I don't lift up things I don't know about. But one thing I do know about, I know about Stonewall Tell. And I know how Stonewall Tell has progressed and gone. For every major thing that you've done, I think I've been there. From the teachers being certified, the Bum Caso. Mr. Flounnory, know that anytime that you need me for anything, I'm going to be there supporting you and the children. And I got to say this too, you do teach. You do teach, because you walk in the hall. You're one of the few principals I see when I go to your school. You walk in the halls, okay? And that means that you're teaching children as they come by you. Absolutely. That ends our show for today. For more information on the topic we discussed, please contact my office at 404-612-8230. You may also email me at william.edwards@fultoncountyga.gov. I also invite you to visit my website, southfultongoodthings.com. Thanks for watching, and be sure to see us again next month when we bring you more of the good things that are happening in South Fulton County.